welcome to Guitar Books, the podcast. My name is Joe McMurray. This is my third mini-topic episode. In the previous two episodes, I've talked about making goals to get better, musical goals, and the second episode I talked about how to practice efficiently and effectively in order to achieve those goals. Today I'm going to talk about repertoire. In the previous couple episodes, I've used the example of if you're a beginning fingerstyle guitarist and you have the long-term goal of performing at a local gig in the next year or two, then you would need to set short-term goals to learn songs to build up your repertoire and build up your technique and tone, and you need to have efficient and effective practicing schedules to really learn these songs well. And so today I want to talk about how to build that repertoire and how to choose that repertoire. So if you want to play out, it really depends on who you are and where you live and the types of places you could play at. But say you want to play at a bar, which I play at lots of bars. They're fun, they pay, I enjoy doing it. So at bars, people typically want music that's a bit more upbeat, they want more popular music. So I love playing Celtic music and fingerstyle blues and ragtime and stuff like that. But at bars, depends on the bar, and again, it depends on where you are, but typically at the bars that I get to play at, people really like it when I play covers of popular tunes. I learned Adam Rafferty's arrangement of Billie Jean by Michael Jackson a long time ago. That's always been a hit at bars. I have arranged some tunes like September by Earth, Wind & Fire and Brick House by the Commodores and other tunes like that, upbeat things that people enjoy at bars. So if you are looking to play somewhere like a bar, you want to choose repertoire that will suit that venue, and hopefully that will help you to get the gigs and keep the gigs and get tipped well. So if you are trying to play at a restaurant, you might have a different repertoire for the restaurant than you would have at that bar. Maybe you can play those beautiful Celtic tunes or the fingerstyle blues tunes, or maybe some more classically influenced tunes. A restaurant, people are eating food and maybe they want to have conversations and they want your music to be at a lower volume and more background music. So you can choose music that will suit that venue. So it's just really important to always keep this in mind, because if you don't have a clear idea of where you're going, if you don't have a clear long-term goal, you might spend a lot of time learning a song that you're not actually going to be able to perform out at the venue that you're trying to perform at, or the type of venue you're trying to perform at. So hopefully, if you think about these things, it will help you to hone in these goals, and it'll save you a lot of time and energy. So now you have learned the right songs for the gig that you have in mind that you'd like to play. It's a lot of work to have all of those songs performance ready. So your bar gig may be 3 hours, it may be 1 hour, it depends on the gig. If you have even an hour gig, that's a lot of fingerstyle guitar tunes. That might be 30 tunes at 2 minutes apiece. Might be a little less than that. Maybe it's 23-minute tunes. So that's a lot of music to keep, fresh in your memory, to keep performance ready. So you have to work it into your practice schedule that you're going to review those tunes enough so that when you get to the gig, you are going to be able to play these smoothly and avoid any train wrecks on stage. It's very dependent on you, your memory and your abilities. My memory isn't awesome. If I'm going to perform a tune in my set at a gig, I try to have played it somewhere, either in the practice room or at a different gig. I try to have played it in the last week or two before I try to play it on stage again. For you, maybe you can play something really well if you've played it in the past month. Maybe you need to play it the day before the gig to have it fresh. it largely depends on you, and as you improve as a fingerstyle guitarist or a musician in general, I think that your memory for these tunes does get better. When I was in school for jazz guitar, it was so daunting memorizing the tunes and memorizing the chord changes and being able to improvise on them and then go out to gigs and be able to remember all this stuff. But after doing it for years, I've definitely gotten better at it. So keep that in mind. But you want to make sure that you set some time aside in your practice schedules to review your repertoire to keep it performance ready. So maybe you don't have as much time to practice and you don't feel like you could have an hour of music memorized for your gig. Maybe you could consider reading from sheet music or an iPad during your gig. It's nothing to be ashamed about. This is really helpful because you're much less likely to have a little brain fart and have a train wreck on stage if you've got the music in front of you. I don't personally use sheet music because, at least if it's a solo gig and I'm playing by myself, playing the music I'm comfortable with, I feel like I can be more musical and engage with the audience when I don't have the music in front of me. I can focus my full attention on performing rather than reading the music and flipping pages and that sort of thing. But for you, if you don't have as much time, it can be really helpful to have sheet music in front of you. So look at your long-term goals, the goal of performing out, the short-term goal of learning this song. Maybe you don't have as much time, so maybe memorizing it and keeping 20 songs memorized isn't an option. You can adjust your practicing to where you don't have to keep everything memorized. You could use sheet music. Maybe instead of trying to do it all yourself, maybe you split the gig with somebody else. Maybe you bring another local musician in to play for an hour so that it takes the burden off of you a little bit. Because ultimately, if you're if you're a beginning guitarist or intermediate guitarist and you're trying to get out there and play, there's no shame in only playing for an hour. It's actually really helpful to split the gig with somebody else so that their friends and fans come in to see them and they end up seeing you. So that's another thing you can do to relieve some of the burden of having to keep so much repertoire at a performance-ready state. Alright, so I hope this has been helpful. I want to make sure that you've heard that I have a book called Arranging for Fingerstyle Guitar. I show you how to arrange one simple melody in hundreds of different ways so that in the end you can hopefully arrange any melody. This book is really helpful for not only arranging popular tunes, but also for songwriting. If you're trying to write your own music for fingerstyle guitar, it'll help you understand the inner workings of fingerstyle guitar much better. So check it out. The purchase link is in the show description below. You can purchase it as an ebook. Also, if you haven't heard my music, please check out my 2024 release, Pins on the Map. It's all fingerstyle guitar, some fingerstyle ukulele, and one piano track. So yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any thoughts in the comments below, or if there's any topics you'd like me to talk about in the future. And I'll see you next time. Please like this video and subscribe. Thank you.